Hey there everyone, and welcome to this week's market update. Last week at El Paso County, we saw a total of 102 new homes come to market. We saw 48 price increases. We saw 31 price decreases. We saw 21 homes that came back on the market, and a total of 199 homes that sold and closed out completely. So this week we're seeing about the same amount of activity that we saw last week, similar amount of price adjustments, similar amount of homes that are coming back on the market. We did also see fewer new listings that came to the market this week than we did last week. However, we're still seeing a greater amount this week than we saw during the holiday season. So right now, with roughly about 100 new properties coming to market every single week, we're still about 1/3 of what we really need to meet our market demands. But as we're getting going, as I continue to talk with clients and I continue to talk with people I've been in conversation with for months at a time, sometimes years at a time, they're looking like they're going to be wanting to list more in March, more in April, even sooner, because plans do change. So I'm still expecting, we're still planning on seeing more homes that are coming to market this spring, as we're seeing right now. And with a total of 199 that sold this last week, we're seeing that number has dropped a little bit. And I think that's less about demand and more about the fact that we have such a limited supply that we don't have enough houses to keep up the numbers of 400 up to 500 closes every single week. But again, as we progress in the year, I'm expecting to see both of those numbers, kind of all of these numbers, increase as we see more things coming to market. And just as a tip, something I've been seeing kind of this last week and a half, whether you rent, whether you own, whether you're looking to own, something important to keep in mind. For whatever reason, in the last week and a half, I've been seeing more and more cars, more and more vehicles, RVs, or even trailers being parked on front lawns. Now, I don't want to come across as that neighbor that's always complaining about something, just like, oh, your house color or parking on your front lawn or whatever the case is. There's actually a practical reason to not do it. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that there's sewer mains that are running from the house into the street. Well, I mean, of course, people realize that, but what people don't realize is what's the depth of where that sewer main is at. And a lot of the pipes that are used are not graded for additional weight. They're only graded for however far they're going to be buried in the ground, however the code mandates, and they're meant to support that amount of weight of earth on top of them. Now, with heavy cars, with heavy trailers, with people who are moving weight or moving loads or even dropping something off, that can actually damage or cause shifts in these sewer mains or in these sewer lines. Now, I've been involved in transactions where I had buyers who were looking at a place, they liked the place, we got to inspection, and the sewer main was completely messed up because the homeowners actually had some landscaping done, and they use these concrete blocks as a sort of retaining wall for some of their landscaping, some of the design. But what ended up happening is they didn't call a city, they didn't get it marked out where the sewer main were, where everything was, and they actually cracked that pipe. And it ended up being an estimated $12,000 cost. Now, with that in mind, we actually weren't able to close. We didn't get all the way to closing with that deal because that extra $12,000 was something that the sellers weren't able to do, and my clients didn't want to take on that expense for themselves, and I can't blame either party for it. But again, it's just something to keep in mind. If you're going to be putting anything heavy on your front lawn, the sewer lines that run through your front yard may not be graded for it, and you can cause tens of thousands of dollars of damage, which at some point somebody's going to have to pay for. But if you have any questions on any of the information I covered today, feel free to give me a call, send me a text, or send me a message anytime. That concludes this week's market update, and thank you for watching.